G'day people. I thought I would do a reaction video to an an, an, an official website, an official government website, what's more, on stuttering, and and it is from right here in Victoria. I'll put a link to the website right down below. It starts by saying, stuttering or stammering. I don't know why they'll put down stammering. We say stuttering here in Victoria, thank you very much. Is a speech disorder characterized by interruptions to speech such as hesitating. Yeah, I do that. Repeating sounds. Yeah, I do that too. And words or prolonged sounds. I don't often do prolonged sounds, but some people who stutter do just that. I note that it says I'm hesitating. I think it's more just not being able to say that particular word. The cause of stuttering is unknown, but genetics are thought to play a significant role. Well, my view on this is possibly. It is possible that some great uncle had a stutter, but I don't really think that counts. Children and adults who stutter can benefit from speech therapy. Now, that is actually 100% true. Stuttering or stammering is a speech disorder characterized by interruptions to speech such as hesitating, repeating sounds and words, or prolonging sounds. Around 1% of people in all cultures stutter. I think they meant to say 1% of all adults stutter. Stuttering can be mild, moderate, or severe, and can vary within the same individual across speaking situations and from one day to the next, particularly with children. I think that my stuttering remains exactly the same, no matter what the situation is. But maybe a test on this can be done sometime. Symptoms of stuttering. The symptoms vary widely between individuals, but can include hesitation, as if the next word is stuck. Repeating sounds, syllables, or words such as I think, or where is it, and so on. Prolonging sounds such as mummy. Well, like I said before, I'm not really sure that there is that much hesitation when it comes to stuttering. I think it's just not being able to say that particular word. I do sometimes repeat repeat sounds and syllables. But prolonging sounds, no, not that much. Causes of stuttering. The cause is unknown, but researchers suspect that people who stutter have a slight glitch in the brain connection responsible for speech production. The fact that stuttering tends to run in families, I'm not sure about that one, indicate that genetics is involved, and it's somehow in the condition. Studies of stuttering in twins have also found that both twins are more likely to stutter if they are identical rather than fraternal. I don't really know what to say about that one. It was once assumed that parents who mistakenly thought that their child had begun to stutter caused a child stuttering. When children start to talk, they naturally hesitate and stumble over words. Yep, I've done that. It was proposed that anxious parents believed this natural hesitation was stuttering and pressured their child to talk properly, which caused the child to start real stuttering. However, there is no evidence to indicate that anything parents do or don't do can cause a child to stutter. Well, my view on this one is that yes, parents and guardians of children who stutter need to do something about it. But I think that they were more making a great big fuss when the child didn't think that there was a great big fuss. Effects of stuttering. Children who stutter are more likely to be teased by their peers. Older children and adults who stutter often fail to achieve their educational or career potential and may experience significant anxiety in social situations. This one's really a video on its own. Well, for me, being young with a stutter, it was more, why do you stutter, and being excluded from things. But I do agree with what it says that adults who stutter fail to achieve their educational or career potentials. Development of stuttering. The progression of stuttering tends to follow the following pattern. Stuttering normally begins in children aged 2 to 3 years. Stuttering may develop gradually or suddenly. If stuttering is not treated in the preschool years, it starts to become difficult to treat in later years. uh, it, it says that stuttering normally begins in children 2 to 3. It, isn't that when most children start to talk in the first place? If that's the case, then they would be lifelong stutterers. Stuttering may develop gradually or suddenly. Yet, I haven't looked into the statistics on this one, but it does sound true. And 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 it says that if stuttering is not treated in the preschool years, it's harder to treat later. Possibly, but I still would try to do something about it now rather than wait. Degrees of severity. Stuttering is graded by its degree of severity. Most researchers rate stuttering by the percentage of stuttered syllables. While the child speaks, the speech pathologist counts all the stuttered and non-stuttered syllables. One classification method is mild, below 5% of syllables stuttered, mild to moderate, 5 to 10% of syllables stuttered, moderate, 10 to 15% of syllables stuttered, moderate to severe, 15 to 20% of syllables stuttered. I thought I heard a crash outside just then, but I'll keep going. Moderate to severe, 15 to 20% of syllables stuttered. Severe, above 20% of syllables stuttered. Stuttering can also be measured with severity rating scales. While I agree with this, it's worth bearing in mind that most treatments of stuttering involve talking slowly. Natural recovery. Some children appear to recover from stuttering without any intervention. However, it is not possible to predict whether an individual child will recover. Parents should not be advised that their child will grow out of stuttering. This will not be true in all cases, for if it were, there would be no such thing as stuttering in adulthood. Well, my view on this, if you're a parent or guardian of a child that stutters, then yes, you do need to do something about it. And your first point of call should be a speech pathologist. There are many problems in measuring the actual rate of natural recovery. Estimates have ranged from 30 to 90% of cases. Several recent estimates have been around the 75% mark, but these were population estimates and they cannot be applied to children who come to a clinic for treatment. For reasons unknown, boys seem to be less likely to recover naturally than girls. Yes, some children will stop stuttering on their own. However, you still need to speak to a speech pathologist. My advice to parents and guardians is don't listen to all the things that you've heard about stuttering. For example, you're going to hear things like, oh, we had this guy and he did this and he didn't stutter anymore. Seek professional help. Parents should always seek professional help from a speech pathologist if their child begins to stutter. Exactly. The speech pathologist will determine whether treatment should occur immediately or whether it is better to wait a while to see if natural recovery occurs. Stuttering children should always be treated at some time during the preschool years. Treatment for children. The best evidence from clinical trials for treating children who stutter is the Nikon program of early stuttering intervention. This is a behaviour modification treatment. The main principle involve praising a child when words are spoken clearly and occasionally noting when stuttering has occurred. Now, I can't comment on the Lidcombe program. However, it does say, and occasionally noting when stuttering has occurred. Well, what some therapists like to do is they will write down when a child stutters. I don't like that. It's essential for parents to be trained in the Lidcombe technique to ensure they know how to comment positively about the child's speech rather than the child's behaviour. If parents and carers receive proper training, there is no evidence that correcting a child's speech will cause the child to become stressed or anxious. In fact, the research has shown that the Lidcombe program causes no such psychological events. Well, again, I can't comment on that. Treatment for stuttering is much more effective in the preschool years, but treatment for older children, adolescents, and adults is effective as well. The best evidence available supports the use of a technique called prolonged speech or smooth speech, where the person's speech pattern is reconstructed. Where to get help? Speech pathologist, your school nurse for referral, your local community health centre. It should say where not to get help. If anyone's told you that that it worked for me or something like that, forget it, it doesn't work. And finally, it says, things to remember. Stuttering or stammering is a speech disorder characterized by interruptions to speech such as hesitating, repeating sounds and words, or prolonging sounds. The cause of stuttering is unknown, but genetics are thought to play a significant role. Children and adults who stutter can benefit from speech therapy. Well, that's it. So, I'd like to now open it up to you. What did you think about this? Let me know in the comments.